So what's up everybody, my name is Armstrong Sass. This is a classic tutorial on how to smudge like a pro, probably for a dark woman. And if it's your first time of coming to this channel, please don't forget to hit subscribe button. If it's your second or third time or fourth time or fifth time, whatever time it is you come to the channel, please don't forget to hit subscribe button and don't forget to leave a like and leave a comment. I would appreciate that a whole lot. Thank you so much for reaching me. Thank you so much for giving me your feedbacks. It means a lot to Armstrong. Well, without wasting much time, without further ado, please make sure you watch this. You can fast forward this commercial, but please make sure you watch how my intro goes, and I'ma meet you right back. Okay, so basically this is Choma Akpota, otherwise called Choma Chukwuka, yeah. So she's one very big Nigerian celebrity. This is a picture I got off Twitter. Now this is one very big trick I would normally say in my videos, but I think you should definitely pay attention to this particular one, and that is when you want to download a picture of Instagram, please don't take a screenshot. I used to do that before. Now what I do mainly is to download it via any third party application. That's downloaded off Instagram. Instagram doesn't have a download or save button like Twitter does, but this should definitely be okay. So what I want to do basically first of all is to cut out the picture from the background. So that's what I'm going to basically do, and I'm going to try as much as possible not to fast forward this video, but I'm not going to be putting the finishing touches on the picture. Well, this is what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be teaching you how to smudge. For those that come up with very weird looking smudge paintings, I'm going to be teaching you how to smudge like a professional. That's number one. And then number two is I'm going to be showing you how to use colors. People ask, I think colors are what I use, and I think colors are what makes my work distinct and actually special from a lot of things, a lot of works I get to see out there. So I'm going to be revealing how I use colors, my color blends. Well, if you are staying to this video, if you're going to be watching this video to the end, now I'm going to show you something really special, and that is when to use what on Photoshop, when to use what colors, and the special color trick I use. Actually, there's something I use after adding color. There's a little trick I use to make everything pop, and I'm going to be revealing that by the end of the video. Well, what I'm doing is basically cutting out the eyebrow, and well, I think it's going to take time, so I'm going to just basically cut it out, and then I'm going to have to fast forward this part, because if you've not learned how to cut out a picture from the background, well, that's very fine. You can get videos on how to use the pen tool on Photoshop. I think the pen tool is one tool that's going to save you a great deal, and it's going to make your work look a lot more professional than it normally is supposed to be. So please don't forget to check out videos like that, because yeah, somebody told me once that my videos are for people that have a low knowledge of Photoshop. I think that's true to an extent, because I feel like if I will have to go through the process over and over again, it's going to come out as a 50-hour tutorial video, and you definitely don't want to watch a 50-hour tutorial video. Trust me, you'll be like, oh, even if I'm cracking the most jokes, I'm gonna be like, oh, what's this guy saying? I don't know. So I'm going to fast forward to the end of where I'm done cutting that. It's going to be a split seconds, and then you just blink your eyes, and then you see what we're doing here. So I'm gonna meet you, you know what I'm going to say, in a jiffy. Yeah, so I'm gonna meet you in a jiffy. Okay, so this is where we are right now. All I did was just cut out the picture basically from the background. Now when we're cutting out the picture, you notice I'm going to zoom in right here. I notice that these pictures are depixelated, if that's what it's called. Depixelated, yeah, I think that's what it's called. So now there are two things you want to do when you're working on a woman's picture. The first is to check the image size. Now I'll explain something I've never explained before, and that is, with more image size, with more resolution comes a more compact and a sharper image. that has more details and has more surface area, if that's how I'm supposed to explain it. But more resolution comes more pixels. Yeah, so I'm going to increase the resolution a little bit. Now I'm increasing the resolution because she does not have a sliding hair, now a falling hair. This is how her hair is now. This is how it was before. I'm going to zoom in and show you. This is how it was before. It does not look much, but this actually has a lot of pixels. I call them on tender pixels, but this has more it's more compact and has more pixels. Well, if you've worked enough with Photoshop, you understand those terminologies I'm talking about. But I'm going to make the resolution 300, and definitely I'm going to just work on the highlights and the shadows. Now this is a big trick. When you're smudging, you want to work on the highlight and the shadows. That is because reducing the highlight a little bit makes the picture fake a little bit. Now it makes the picture fake, and it somewhat removes this realism, whatever it is, from the picture. Now when that realism leaves the picture, you have a cartoon image. I'm going to show you the difference before and now. Now this looks a little bit unrealistic and looks a little bit like this looks like a normal picture before. Now this looks like something that's like it's a flat image, yeah, because the highlight was reduced. So you want to try doing that. The next thing is to duplicate with Ctrl J, and I want to add a little linear light. Now somebody said I should mention the difference between linear light and vivid light. I'm going to do this. I'm going to duplicate this. I'm going to apply linear light under. I'll apply linear light here under linear light, and on top of this place I'll apply vivid light. Somebody said I should I should show the difference. Now I'll show you. This is linear light under here. Linear light is not as vivid as vivid light. Now vivid light has more details and is sharper than linear light. So when you want to work on pictures, I personally use them interchangeably, but I prefer linear light because it's a little bit softer on the skin. Now I'm still going to show you the difference. If this is linear light and I go to image and I go to adjustment and I go to I'm going to filter, I go to order, I go to high pass. Now this is, I'll leave it at 1.5 for example, and then I'll merge it with the one below. Then this is vivid light. I'll come over to vivid light. I would probably put it under here, turn this off, and come over to, I'll use the same high pass I used for the other one. Then I'll merge it. Now you would notice for the both of them, now for the one of linear light is a little bit sharper than vivid light. So I think I'll go for this one below because I don't like when it's way too sharp. I think it's really nice. So I think you should use linear light or vivid light. Anyone that works for you, just check it out, and I'm sure you would have a nice result. Just walk around the figures. You really don't have to, as a creative person, you don't have to have a particular thing you have to do. Next thing is the big thing, smudging. Now this is the brush I use. I'm gonna show you. This is the brush I use. This, okay, not that. Where are you? Now this is the brush I use. I'm gonna pick it and I'm gonna show you what it looks like. Well, I have a link on how to download the brush from my Google Drive for free, so you can get that. It's gonna be placed, the link to the video is gonna be placed on the top right, so you can get to check that out. And what I'm going to do basically is to smudge. I'm going to just go ahead to smudging so I don't get to waste way too much time. But before I get to smudging, I'm going to cut out the hair, the eyelashes, the eyebrow, and what else, the earring and the singlet. I'm going to do that, so that now this is the reason why I do that, and watch why I do what I do. Now the reason I do that is because cutting it out this way would make, okay, now cutting this out, the eyebrow and other things away from the body, it would not make my work rough, because my hand basically cannot smudge all these things out. I'm a human and I'm very limited, so that's what I'm aiming at doing, to have a sleek image that I'm just going to smudge the skin and let the computer do for the eyebrow, the eyelashes, and what have you. So I'm going to fast forward it a little bit until I get to that point. So just listen to this soft music and nod your head, and don't forget to have an amazing December. Besides, it's December, so season greetings to you. If you've already logged out from this video, I know you've not. For you to be hearing my voice now, it means you still are with me. So season greetings. Please don't forget to send my own Christmas gift. I think Santa doesn't come to this part of the world, so I don't mind getting a gift. So I'm going to fast forward this still and get to meet you. You know what I want to say. You really know what I want to say in a jiffy. So I'm gonna meet you right back. Okay, so this is what we'll have now. This is something I like to do. I like to name my layers, and if you have a little issue, definitely you should have a little issue about how to arrange your layers. Now I'm going to show you. This is the eyelashes. I'm going to control click here, and then you see it has been selected. This is the eyebrow, this is the earring, and this is the hair. What else? This is the clothes. You notice here the singlet. I don't know, anything is called, I don't know. So what I'm going to do basically, without wasting much time, is to duplicate this here and clip this here. I'll tell you the reason why I clip. Now this is a smudge brush. I'm going to make the strength like 70. When I unclip this, for example, and I smudge, for example, when it leaves this picture, it's not confined to this part of the picture, and hence it just makes the picture not nice. Now I'll tell you what, the reason why I had to cut this out from the other part of the face is, even when you smudge this part that you cut out, if I get to turn this off, you see that it has left. So this part you cut out is untouched by the picture, so by your brush, yeah, if that's the correct word. So what I do basically is to cut this out so my brush doesn't get to hamper her. I was not the one that made her up, so I want to leave it the natural way. So I'm going to clip this by creating a clipping mask, and when I create a clipping mask, anything I do outside here, it's confined to this part of the face. It doesn't go out. Now when I unclip it to release clipping mask, you notice that it came out. But when I create a clipping mask, this is one way to have a very sleek, a very sleek painting done. So I create a clipping mask, and I was smudging. I'm going to leave the strength at 30, so I'm going to make it 30 by pressing 3 on my keyboard, and I'm going to make the brush size for maybe 175 because of the pixel resolution. Now watch this, watch closely. I need to take a little while before we got to this part, but it's all in the process of preparing this picture for this big moment. So watch this big moment. So I'm gonna make the brush like 175, and I'm going to smudge it. Basically I'm going to press my left click, and then I'll just drag it along the basis. Now look at my brush. You notice that anywhere the brush passes is where it gets smoother. So what I'm going to do is make it 30 and then smudge gradually along it. Now I'm going to be very careful not to mess things up, and if you're not a pro, or if you think you're not so conversant with the smudge brush, you can start with 20, but you just have to work on it over and over again. So that's what I'm going to basically do. I'm going to basically smudge it. I don't think I should fast forward it, because this is the main part of the video, even if it's going to take a little while. I'm sorry if you don't like long tutorials. I'm really sorry. This is how to show you the steps, and I think if you get this right, a lot of other things will be gotten right. So I'm going to basically smudge this, and while eliminating, or while leaving out all these parts that are untouched, all these parts that I had to cut out, so I'm going to leave that out. But while I'm doing that, I'm going to just smudge alongside the parts that I know that light falls. Now watch this. Taking something from here, probably smudging from here to this place, it would not blend in. It's going to make the picture distorted. Now you notice that it's as if it's as though her face turned out to be flat like this. It's going to, I see a lot of people make this mistake. So what I'm basically going to do is this part that has light here, that has a little bit highlight here, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get this part that I know has highlight here, this part that has highlight. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to smudge along that axis, and all this part I'm going to smudge along this axis, and then this part that is dark, or this part, I'm going to smudge along this axis too, and then all this part. I'm not going to make something like this go over to a place like this. It's going to mean that it's just going to get the whole thing messed up. So that's what I'm basically going to do. So I'm going to come over to this place, and remember, I'm going to be working on this layer one. So I'm going to name this body. I'm going to name this smudged layer. Now, working with the smudged layer, I would like working with layers because somehow it gives you a control, and I'm not a control freak, but it gives you a lot of control. So I'm going to just do this a little bit, make it 30, and then work on this part. Well, if this is not neat enough, we are going to have to blend it later, but for the meantime, I think we should just work on this 30 to work on the picture. And when I started initially, I had to cut out the nose and most of the components of the face because I was not so good with using the smudge brush. Well, we're supposed to oil paint before doing this, but that can always come after this. So that's what I'm basically going to do. I'm going to just smudge along this. Remember what I told you, smudging along this axis, so that I'm going to keep the details of the picture intact, and I don't have a distorted picture where she's supposed to be a very fine woman. She is a very fine woman, actually. You can take a good look at her. She's a very fine woman. So you don't want to, at the end of the day, have somebody that is confusing whether she's beautiful or not. So I want to keep her the way she is. I think she's my very good friend. At least she's my good friend in my mind until I get to meet her, probably one of these days. I hope I do. Well, until then, I'm just going to try to make this picture come out sleek and come out very beautiful. So now when you do this, you should be very careful to increase or reduce the brush size to whatever part you want to work on. Now if I'm working on this place of the nose, working on a place like this, I want to leave the brush size at maybe 90. Now this brush size differs on the picture resolution. With a smaller picture resolution, I'll have a smaller brush. Now when I get to a place like this, I'm going to take this back. When I get to a place like this, I'm going to smudge along this axis. You see, I'm just going to smudge along that axis, and this place I'll smudge along this axis to give the picture or the smooth feel that goes with that particular part. So well, if you have issues, a lot of people ask, where do I get the brush? Please check my other videos. You would know where to get the brush and how to get the brush. So that's what I'm basically going to do. I'm going to increase the brush size when I come to a place like this, and where a place I know does not need so much detail, I can use a bigger brush size. And a place that I know that has or needs so much detail, I'll use it's not so small a brush size, but something that is smaller, so I get to capture. Okay, for example, I need to make the top of the lip here sleek and straight, so I use a small brush size. If I use a big brush size like this, just watch, if I use a big brush size like this, it's going to distort everything. A lot of people have things like this, but I like my details intact, so I use something like this, and I can zoom in a little bit. I can zoom in and make sure the lip, the lip folds. If you're a medical student, please help us. I don't know what the name is, but please make sure your lip folds, your lip lip grind. I used to dodge biology class. The terminology was so hard. I used to really dodge those classes. I was hearing different names that were sounding very weird, like I don't know, I can't remember most of them now. The right orator of the heart, those things were scary. I'm thinking at it, I'm like, am I going to learn all this? Can't you just tell me what I need to know about how to take drugs when I'm sick? So now the bottom part of the lip is where I smudge in the direction. I probably smudge like this and like this, and I'm just make sure I keep those details. Now this is one delicate part. You want to smudge it, and when you're smudging you want to be careful. Now I'm making sure that the lines on the face, they are very 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 normal and they are very very intact. I don't want to mess things up, so I'm going to do this, and I'm just going to smudge alongside the axis of the face that I feel like needs a lot of attention. Remember, my strength is still at 30, and I'm going to just do just that. I don't know, should I fast forward the video or you are enjoying the process? Well, just drop a comment on whether I think I should fast forward the video. I know a lot of people are going to download this off YouTube. Well, watching it on YouTube somehow gives me a leverage. Not somehow, it definitely gives me a leverage, and it prescribes my video to other people on YouTube. Well, if you're not watching it on YouTube, please make sure to do well to hit the subscribe button on YouTube, and please make sure to leave a like, leave a comment. That way YouTube is going to prescribe this video for other people that thinks that actually need the video. So that's what you want to do. You want to let YouTube know that this guy is doing something nice, and then they should prescribe my videos. Okay, so that's what I'm basically doing. I'm going to just work on this, and this is what we have. It doesn't look like a lot. It doesn't look like I've done anything, but if I turn this off and I turn this on, off and on, now the overall image is going to look a lot nicer because we have a very smooth smudge paint right here. So you can ask the question, if I start smudging, okay, I'm going to do this and show you an example. If I start smudging and my smudge comes out like this, it starts with probably a brush like this, and then it drags down something like this. So what you need to do is it starts with something like this. What you need to do is to probably make sure it's on smudge instead of brush, and try it out again. If it keeps working like that, turn off your Photoshop or turn off your system and then come back to it. Now you're asking other questions. Why is mine not smooth like this? Yours is not smooth like this because you are using either a big brush, a small brush, or a hard strength, or whatever it is. You are saying, okay, Armstrong, I'm following your tutorial video, so what's happening? Well, I think you need more practice too, because they said practice makes perfection. I think so. You need more practice. Now watch what I'm doing here. I'm smudging along this axis because that's how the cheek looks like. So you need to have the picture in your head of how the cheek really looks like, and then walk towards that instead of just doing anything random. Now, to have a nice result that other people don't have, you need to do what other people don't do. So that's why I had to check out the human anatomy, and I look at people's faces a lot, and I'm like, okay, so this is here and this is not here. Well, sometimes you might meet me and I'm just staring at you. I'm just trying to look at where your cheekbone falls, and I know it sounds like I'm a nerd or something, but I think it makes what I do outstanding. So come on, why wouldn't I check your cheekbone? I want to know where it's falling and know how to smudge your face when I finally get a job from you. So I think that's pretty nice. You should give me kudos for checking out your face. Not a lot of people check out people's faces, so for checking out your face, you should give me kudos. So I'm going to leave this part of the eyes and hair, because after oil painting it, then I'm going to work on that. Then I'm just going to work on the under the nose here and the jaw. Well, I think this tutorial is almost very long, but I'm very sure you've learned a lot of things, and I'm going to keep a picture of this so you can smudge as well, so that you can follow what I do and probably do the same thing. Somebody made a comment that I should try this so that people can try out what I do. So I'm going to upload it on my Google Drive, and if you want to learn that, if you want to do that, you can as well just download the picture and learn how to do that and smudge alongside me. So I think I deserve kudos for that, because uploading on Google Drive and all those other things are a lot of work. So I think I deserve a lot of kudos and a lot of popcorn and free movies. Yeah, we're going to the movies. But besides, it's been a long time I went to the movies. Anyway, it's been a long time. Having this coronavirus and stuff, it's really been awful. So that's what I'm basically doing. When I get to a place like this is what I do. I smudge along this axis. Now I smudge along this axis to make this whole thing look nice, to make it look nice and not to distort the picture I have. But when I need more details, I'll increase the brush. When I need low details, I'll reduce the brush. So I'm still at 30 and I'm smudging along the axis that I feel like should just be there. Now doing this along this axis, it makes it look nice, and so it's looking nice, not looking bad at all. So this is what we have. Don't worry about the eyes and all these other places. Okay, I can just, this place I'm very sure I didn't cut out. Now the reason I cut out the eyelashes and the body is because when Photoshop works on this, when the oil paint work on this part of the pictures, it somehow gives it oil paint has a way of making your work easier, and then just oil paint both the body, and it just gives you this sweet realistic look. So I have to let Photoshop do some of the work. It's working smart. They say work smart, not hard. I say that like one of my videos, you should work smart, not hard. So if you are here and you are editing for fun, well, you should work smart, not hard. If you're editing for money, that's the one reason why you should work smart, not hard. So that's what I'm going to basically do, and I've worked on the face. Now this part of the body, I'm going to just speed it up a little bit, or I don't know, should I speed it up? You've not dropped a comment if I should speed it up or not. Maybe I'm strong, this is boring. Oh, I'm strong. I got the point already. Just speed it up a little bit. Oh, I'm strong. I like when you take it step by step. I like your jokes. Somebody told me once that she liked when I made jokes, that it kept her going, and I'm like, and I got a comment once that he said I really don't like it when you make jokes when you're supposed to be talking about the thing at hand. I'm like, oh bro, calm down, jeez, we are learning. And I think I learned in a less tense environment where everywhere feels jovial and nice. So I think we might want to learn in that environment. Now I got to this part of the body, and then they made the brush 300. So because all this part don't need too much detail, so that's what I did basically, to just not make, okay, the normal is in 200, because it's if I turn down the brush size a little bit, it's going to delay me or it's going to waste my time. So I'm just making it to 200 and just working with that basically. No love lost, no love found, just something really nice, and that's just it basically. The aim is not to impress anybody. The aim is not to go fast. The aim is not to tell somebody, hey, I did 79 small jobs in it. The aim is to come up with one masterpiece and they're like, oh wow, I mean, that is beautiful. I think that's really beautiful. By the way, if you want to see a few beautiful works, and most of the pictures I get to post a lot lately are my throwbacks, because doing a lot of new pictures and doing a lot of new videos is a lot of work. I'm just wondering how people with a lot of subscribers and a lot of YouTube followers, I'm wondering how they, or YouTube subscribers and Instagram followers, I'm wondering how they do this thing where they can keep up and be really good at what they do and meet up with time. So I think it's managing your time properly. So until then, I'm looking for a PA. If you want to be my PA, I don't know. I don't know if I can really pay you. Can I pay you? Do you think you're expensive? Okay, so that's what we have now. This is not bad at all. So I'm going to show you the difference before and now. Now what you need to do, the next thing you need to do is turn off the layer above it, and then see the difference. Now you just notice that this part of the face here has a little hitch. This part has a little hitch. Now the next thing you want to do, make the brush 20 by pressing 2 on your keyboard and increase the brush size. Now when you increase the brush size, it's going to come out as a bigger one, and then you want to blend in all these parts. You want to blend in the picture and make the picture come in just nice after all, just nice overall. So you want to I'm making this mine 15 now, and I want to blend it in. That's one of the reasons why I have a perfect skin, because I take out time to blend everything in and to make her look like a Barbie princess. Most ladies, I want them to look beautiful and I want them to look like princesses. So when you get to see them, you're like, oh wow, that is beautiful, like a lot beautiful. So this is what we have now. I'm going to put on final touches on this thing. Like final touches are touches like this part. I'm going to show you this part where you have to just blot it out with a strength of like 70 and make you use a big brush to blot it out. Well, you need a big brush for this part because you are going to be working on a large scale and you want to blend it in. So if you've ever drawn with your hand, you notice that sometimes you need to blend in all these colors so that it will come out very neat and not rough. So that's what I'm basically doing to blend out all these things. So that is what I have now. The next thing I'm going to do is to go to Photoshop CS6. Well, I have Photoshop CS6 and you can download it from getintopc.com. That is where you can get the cracked file, and I have Photoshop CS6. I'm going to go to Photoshop CS6 to oil paint the eyes, the brow and the hair, and come back to Photoshop CC to put colors and show you how to sell on Instagram. I'm still with you. I'm going to go over to Photoshop CS6 right now. Now in Photoshop CS6, this is one Photoshop that allows you to do oil paint in any system at all, because okay, not any system, because I've actually met one that did not do. So I'm going to go to filter, I'm going to go to oil paint. Now this just Photoshop does the work. Now this is what I was telling you about Photoshop doing the work for you, especially when it comes to this part of the face. Now I've done a lot of video about how to oil paint, but still I can just reduce the shine on this a little bit, reduce the shine and turn up the cleanness. Now the shine, what the shine does is to make the picture look brighter, but it just gives this fake part. Now this part they look quite fake and too sharp most times, so I just take it down, all the way down, probably make it a little bit, just make it a little, and now this is what I have. Now I can increase the stylization makes it fall like a woman's hair. If she's on a bone straight, I think that's bone straight, if she's on a bone straight hair, then you can probably make it very much like this. But then if she's on a braid like this, you can take it up a little bit. And I don't have any values in my head, I just work until I have something really nice and really beautiful done. And the cleanliness just shows how clean and sleek you want it to be. So I think something like this is not going to be bad at all. I can turn down the shine more and check this, and this is not bad. I'm going to press OK. So you're going to see the difference, how it was before and how it is now, and you notice that Photoshop is the baby. So this is what we have now. Photoshop before and now, not bad at all, not bad. So I'm going to come to the eyebrow like this. I'm going to duplicate it still. I like keeping a duplicate copy just in case I have issues. I can always throw out the one I have and always get a duplicate copy. Now for the eyebrow, you don't want to take the cleanness up so much because it's going to look very fake. No eye actually looks like this, so I'm going to make the cleanness, take it down like this. And the stylization, I don't want to make it too I think this is not bad. I don't want to make it too sleepy. Is this called sleepy? When you have hairs that sleep, what are they called? Sleepy hairs? I don't know. Sounds like the name of a movie, a scary movie. Sleepy hairs. Come on, sleepy hairs. And she was a sleepy hair. Now this is what we have. I know to you it might not look like a lot, so before and now it might not look like a lot, but it is actually a lot. So for the eyelash, this is what I'm going to do. For the eyelashes, I'm going to duplicate this. For the eyelashes, I want to make it sharper, so I'm going to go to vivid light and I'll go under, I'll go to other and go to high pass. Now I want it to be so sharp, so I'm going to press OK. I'm going to merge it with Ctrl E. Okay, so that was not vivid light. This, so I'm going to merge these two together. Okay, now I have a little issue. So we have vivid light and under here we have normal. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so here and here I have high pass. So I'm gonna high pass that. I'm gonna merge these two together. Why it's not working is what I don't know about at all. So okay, so I think I know where the issue. This was for the eyebrow, not for the eyelashes. So I made a mistake. It was supposed to be for the eyebrow. So I'm gonna duplicate this. Under here I'm gonna make this normal, and here can be vivid light. I'll merge them. Okay, I'm gonna make a vivid light. I hope sometimes you run into mistakes like this, and that's why I'm going to purposely leave this mistake and not get to cut it out, so you get to see that sometimes I have flaws too, so but I just look for a way around it. And some people just have a little issue and they run into my DM. I'm strong, what happened, I'm doing this and it does not work, but your tutorial said. I'm like, jeez, I didn't create Photoshop, I'm just one user like you. I just happen to have used it more, and I'm trying to show you how I use it. It does not mean I'm one of the Adobe guys that do what they do. So I'm just one user like you still. Just practice has differentiated us, so you can as well practice, and I'm sure you do times 10 of what I've done or what I can do. So this is what we have, and this is beautiful. So I'm going to save it. For the earring, I don't want to leave her earrings. I don't want her come in my dream. I'm like, she's like, I'm strong, what happened to my earrings? So I'm going to do this, and this is too much. I'm going to take down stylization like this, and probably the cleanliness, and leave this like this, and press OK. So this is not bad at all, just nice. So you can the aim is to get her to look beautiful, and that's all we're going to be doing for now. So I'm going to just go back to Photoshop C. I can work here still, but I prefer Photoshop C17. So I'm going to work there, and that's how I'm going to finish up and work with colors. So this is what we have, and I'm going to press save and go back for my colors. So Photoshop C17 here. Okay, so what I want to do, watch what I want to do basically. I'm going to merge all this, the eyelashes and the eyebrow and the earring. I'm going to merge everything, and the hair, and what else, yeah, and the clothes. I'm going to press Control Alternate E. She's going to merge all of them without getting to distort the main pictures, and I'm going to come on top of this place. I'll drop it right on top of the smudge layer, and I'm going to go and create a clipping mask. Now I'll turn this all off because I've already merged them. I'm just keeping them as a duplicate copy just in case I need any of them. So I'm going to come to this place. Now the reason I merged them and I just merged everything together is because I want to blot out all these edges. So with a strength of say 30, I'm going to come to this part and smudge out all these parts, and the aim basically is to make these pictures is to make the edges blotted out and to make it nice. So I'm just going to do that, and this. So that's what I'm going to do basically, to blot out all these edges, and this should turn out very well. So I can make it 20 and blend all these parts that's making her look like an Indian woman with different face colors. Of course, she doesn't have something on her forehead, so this is not bad. So that's what I did basically, to blend it out and to give her this nice hair and graduation. So that's what you should try. You should try to do that. Take out your time to watch how the human hair falls on the body, and just it's okay to make a mistake on the first few times. It's very much okay, because I learned for a while. Although I didn't have so much of a teacher, but I learned with many mistakes. So it's okay to make mistakes. I feel like making mistakes just makes you stronger, and having those trial and errors, just when you finally get it, you're like, yeah, I'm the boss right here. So I think you want to have that feeling, that yeah feeling. So not making the picture too long, not making the video too long, I'm going to have to make the part where I add colors second part, probably part 2, so that you can get to see what I'm doing. And yeah, I think that should definitely come out. That should come out well. So I'm going to make this a part 1, and I'm going to make I don't know what I'm going to call this. What am I going to call this? Smudging. How I smudge. Photoshop smudging like a professional. Photoshop smudge paint, I don't know. You can help me name my videos. Photoshop smudge painting like a professional Photoshop smudge painting. I wonder how people come up with name of movies. Anyway, X-Men Dark Phoenix, I don't know. Spider-Man's Far From Home, The Gods Among Us. What movie was that? Okay, so what I'm doing basically, before I get cautioned again, I'm just going to use a brush of 20 and blend out all these edges. Now for this part, I'm going to blend out this part and this part and this part. I'm just going to blend out all these parts. Now blending it out means that I'm just making them look nice. So I'm going to blend out all these parts and all these parts and all these parts, and then I'm going to do this. So this is where I try to be very, very cautious. But while working on the eyes, I try not to touch the eyeball, and I make this strength maybe like 20 or 30, and I just blot out all these parts. Now that's one of the, you can zoom in to make sure you have a sleek image really done, a sleek result. So that's what I'm doing basically, to work on this part and to make it look nice and beautiful. I don't know whatever it's called. So that's just that. I'm going to do that, and this is what I have. So I'm going to do the same for the eyes, so it doesn't look like she probably took blood yesterday or sucked blood yesterday. If you're up to this part of the video, I think you're a real MVP, because I'm very sure not up to 4% got to this part of the video. But if you got to this part of the video, then I think you deserve not some accolades, a lot of accolades, because you are the real MVP. But please don't forget to hit a like and leave a like, on probably subscribe, and tell your neighbors about me. Tell them I'm Stronger Stars. Have you met this guy on YouTube? I've not seen his face, but I think he might be looking very cute. I don't know if I'm looking very cute. I really don't know about that. But just spread the word. So now this is how it looks when I'm not fast forwarding the video. I have to talk a lot, and I have to do a lot of smudge painting. Now this is what we have now. It doesn't look like it's a lot, but it is actually a lot. So I'm just trying to polish this and just do this, the edges with 20, and I'm just trying to get this nice thing done. So the edges now, and that thing you need to know when you're smudge painting, all these parts that feel like they are sharp, you want to take them away. All these sharp parts, you want to reduce them a little bit now, because when they look too sharp, they look fake. Now before and now, you watched everything. I didn't get to fast forward anything. If you have an issue with any part of the body you didn't get to smudge well, you can go to filter, for example, and go to liquify, and probably choose a liquify brush. The liquify brush you want to work with, this is for the bulging eye, and this is for whatever it is. So you want to choose the particular brush. Now for example, I feel like this hair came in way too much, so I'm going to put this stretchy brush or whatever it's called, and drag this a little forward, and drag this a little forward like this, and take this down, and take this down too, take this down, and then just make it, just in case you had a little flaw on your painting, this is one very big tweak to it to make it look nice and awesome. And so she doesn't have a big forehead, I can just make it big and drag this down like this. So this is not bad at all. So I'm going to press OK. So you see the difference of before and now. So before and now, so I don't think it's bad. You can compare it. So I think this one came way too forward, just wait, but it's okay like this. And this is a classic video on how to smudge like a professional. So this is the part A. The part B is where I'm going to be adding colors, and I'm going to be showing you how to make it sleek. I know I was promising a long video, but this is long enough. This is almost 50 minutes, and 50 minutes is a lot of time to I don't know go to the mall and be back. So I'm gonna meet you in the part 2 of this video. Please make sure you come around, and this is Stronger Stars signing out. Don't forget to stay creative. Bye bye.